Peace, peace, family. This video right here is about extraterrestrial interactions and signs. Now, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the different forms of extraterrestrial interaction, physically as well as on the astral plane. And I'm going to also break down the physical signs that extraterrestrials leave behind to help usher humanity into higher levels of consciousness. And I'm going to also answer the question of that assholes always like to ask, if extraterrestrials is real, why I don't never see them and why they don't just come down and blah, 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 blah. So with that being said, family, let's jump right into it. When we're talking about extraterrestrial interaction, the average person is indoctrinated with fear, as well as a hell of an ego, to where an extraterrestrial is not just going to come talk to you. You know why? Because you're an asshole, and 9 times out of 10 you're ignorant, and you'll probably try to shoot it and kill it. And for two, the government has imprisoned this planet.
The true aliens are running your mind and your life.
And they're pushing an agenda to make people fear extraterrestrials. When extraterrestrials are not a threat to humanity, the government is a threat to humanity. Extraterrestrials are only concerned about humanity.
We live in the middle of some other kind of intelligence. The secrecy begins with them, whoever they are, these visitors, these entities that interject themselves into our lives. Who they are, why they're here, what their interest is in us long term, we don't know the answers. We can surmise, but we don't know the answers to any of the big stuff. But we can say, I can say with certainty that there is some kind of intelligence operating here, that it shows us glimpses of itself from time to time on its own agenda. But it is the architect of the secrecy.
I believe that there are aspects of consciousness that are associated with the UFO phenomena that we have not addressed fully.
The global public is not ready to have global confirmation of this. A lot of disturbing things will occur. It's just too powerful.
People have ignored these facts. They'd like it to go away. It's not going away. It's not going away because the phenomenon itself doesn't go away. It's been with humans, every continent, every culture throughout human history. It's here whether we like it or not.
Extra-dimensional entities. Okay, extra, being added on, dimensional being what you can measure within the capacity of length, width, and height. You know, dimensions are just different angles of perspectives and different color variations and octaves of light, which is nothing more than sound vibrating into physical existence or physical manifestational form, is how you create a dimension. So there's intellects that exist within these different octaves of sound that you can communicate with and channel them electronically through your body as 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 a medium. The government to make this shit into a joke. Black people have allowed fuckery niggas to come in here and make the subject into a joke. And the world itself has been fooled into thinking reality TV is reality and shit that's actually going on in reality is not. Sleep. They are constantly showing themselves to us. They are constantly giving us the telltale signs of higher levels of consciousness. Humanity is the ignorant motherfuckers who are not listening. They are who are not listening. The point I'm trying to make is the only asshole who would be so naive to think that, there's not forms of humanoid intelligence or any other kind of organism that possesses a higher or lower level of intellect. The only person with this thinking process is somebody who thinks that the creator, or what you call God, stopped at them when it came to making the perfect form of existence. And so only somebody who would be egotistically caught up in their own humanoid image would negate the fact that something outside of what they view themselves as normal would be able to communicate with them. If you can communicate with beings of a lower intellect, of a lower intellectual magnitude from the one that you possess, why do you think that something can't interact with you from a higher magnitude? So even when we talking about, you know, ghosts or talking to ghosts or channeling, right? A motherfucker will sit here and tell you channeling is not real. And I did a whole video on channeling, you know, proving it scientifically. Go watch it. Them electronically through your body as a medium. They are constantly showing themselves to us. They are constantly giving us the telltale signs of higher levels of consciousness. Humanity is the ignorant motherfuckers who are not listening. They are But somebody will sit here and tell you channeling is not real. They'll tell you ghosts don't exist, spirits don't exist. They try to make fun of voodoo and all kind of shit like that. Pray to Jesus. But then they will pray to Jesus.
But then they will pray to Jesus.
But somebody will sit here and tell you channeling is not real. They'll tell you ghosts don't exist, spirits don't exist. They try to make fun of voodoo and all kind of shit like that. So there's intellects that exist within these different octaves of sound that you can communicate with and channel them electronically through your body as a medium.
But somebody will sit here and tell you channeling is not real. They'll tell you ghosts don't exist, spirits don't exist. They try to make fun of voodoo and all kind of shit like that.
Real. They'll tell you ghosts don't exist, spirits don't exist. They try to make fun of voodoo and all kind of shit like that.
Aliens are running your mind and your life.
So there's intellects that exist within these different octaves of sound that you can communicate with and channel them electronically through your body as a medium.
The entire universe is God's cosmic motion picture, and individuals are merely actors in the divine play who change roles through reincarnation. Mankind's deep suffering is rooted in identifying too closely with one's current role rather than the play's director, God. The bird represents the mind, which creates an illusory world, as well as the government, which creates an illusory world in which we live. The serpent represents the Kundalini energy that goes into the brain or the mind and pulls back the veil of illusion. The serpent also represents the Christ that comes into the world to pull back the veil of illusion that the government has placed before your eyes. If God wished to hide, God would choose man to hide in. That is the last place man would look for God. The trouble with the masses of humanity today is that they are trying to become something that is already right within.